what we did is a few years ago, we created a challenge coin. And, we said, we're only going to give the challenge coin to people who actually submit to us something that shows that their crew, their personnel did something special. And, we always say it doesn't have to be a save, right? Because, oftentimes you can do great work, but the child, for example, it was a futile case. As an example, just real quick, last night we had a case of a child, a 16-month-old, who was wearing these rosary beads, almost like, it looked like rosary beads, but it's like a necklace. Okay. Parents put these on their children. And the child strangulated himself during sleep on accident.
Oh my goodness. The parents when they wake up in the morning, they called 911, but they jumped in the car at the same time and they started going towards the hospital. My crew show up. Actually, the 911 telecommunicator told them to stop and start doing CPR on the side of the road, and they did. Okay. We show up and we're now a mile away from the hospital. And by the way, I just got off the call with my EMS captain who told me the story. So it's fresh in my mind. And he said, any other place, people would have just said, oh, they're a mile away. Let's just load and go. No, they didn't. They stayed on scene. They got an I-gel. They put the femoral IO in. They did 3 rounds of epi, great BLS care on top of all that, of course. Now, unfortunately, it turned out that his legs were stiff, his jaw was stiff, his arms were stiff. So it's unfortunate. It was probably a long time. Yeah. But when they showed up to the emergency department, the ER doctor looked at them like, this is amazing. Like he said, you did everything. Right. You did everything. So I say that because if this kid would have had a chance at survival, then we would have saved that child. Yeah. We get, Eric, I can't even tell you, I already had this little link that we've given people to actually submit cases. I just got 3 yesterday. So we have now hundreds and hundreds of cases. I haven't shared any of these cases publicly, even though the folks say, please feel free to share it. But we actually, every Friday I take all those submissions and I write a personal letter. And that letter talks about the case and it names all the people who are involved. We print out the number of letters. We give them all the number of coins that they need and then we ship them. But we say very explicitly, we're not taking the credit. We don't want any of the credit. We just want to highlight the great work that these folks are doing because, it turns out, and maybe we'll get to this later in the conversation, but it turns out that it's not just the app, right? There are other people trying to create an app, but what they don't understand is that it's not the app. It's the confidence that you have before you get to the call. It's the confidence you have during the call. It's the ability to talk to mom, look at mom and dad in the eyes. It's the ability to speak to them, whether the outcome was good or bad.
If you like this episode, check out the full podcast right here. If you want to see more videos, you need to check out right here. Remember, the most important person you're ever going to lead is you.